Okay, hey guys, it's me, Daniel. Today was supposed to be a great day. It's ended up being a bit of a mixed bag. I wanted to celebrate hitting 10,000 subs. Thank you very much. Well, actually, 9,900 and something, but it's creeping up very slowly. So probably by the time I upload this, it'll be 10,000. Anyway, so I've driven up from Jomtien, which is south on the coast of Thailand, which is where I live, up here to Bangkok in the RX-8 with the JZ. It was driving beautifully, and this video was supposed to feature that and this. However, literally just as I pulled into the garage here at Skyline Engineering, my gearbox just went pop and I've got oil everywhere, so I can't drive it. So we're just going to do the Skyline today, but wow, what a Skyline. So let's go into it, because it's kind of a weird car, and how I came across it is also weird. So the story or the history of this car is that it was imported by the official Nissan importers. I believe they're called Nissan Siam at the time, back in 1984. It cost 400,000 baht, which these days is about 10,000 pounds. But if you accounted to inflation, it's a crazy amount of money. Anyway, so they brought in two models. They were both four-door. One was the Iron Mask GTS here behind me, the HR30, and the second one they brought had a crappy little 4-cylinder engine, and it had the regular front end, but it was a lot cheaper. Well, when I say a lot cheaper, it was still 320,000 baht. Nobody bought them because you could buy a Celica or basically anything for that kind of money. It was probably better. And yeah, they stopped selling it after 2 years. So it's a rarity. The car behind me actually belonged to the importer, Nissan Siam, and they kind of kept it as like a sort of heritage car. During that time, it was sold. Now, when it was sold, I don't know, but it went to another owner who then stuck an RB inside. Now, at the moment, it's got the FJ20 DET from the R32, which is a fun engine, but not really what I'm looking for. So it's got an FJ20 DET from the R32 GTST. Cool engine, sounds sweet, revs nicely. It's got the gearbox too, and of course it just swaps straight in because the L series, which is what originally came inside, basically shares the same architecture as the RB. The RB is the evolution of the L. But it's not enough for me, so I managed to pick up a RB25 Neo. I could have gone RB26 GTR, but yeah, it's just stupid. I mean, the Neo makes 280 horsepower standard. We've already got a special turbo and ECU and little niceties for it anyway, so it's going to be stupid anyway. But anyway, back to the car. So it's a HR30, it's a four-door, and it's what they call the Tekkerman, the Iron Mask, which seems to be a kind of favourite with the retro crowd, especially me. I personally prefer it to the R31, and it seems in Japan that was also the case, because when they brought out the R31, though the car was superior in pretty much every way, they didn't like the look of it as much, and so they carried on making the R30 for another 4 or 5 years. And in actual fact, I believe the R30 actually was produced longer and further beyond the R31, yet there's still less of them. So, bit of a weird one. But yeah, so that's what we've got behind me now. It is, I wouldn't say mint, I say it's a 9 out of 10. It's got the original paint. The only thing I've done is the decals on the side, I had them redone in gold. Obviously the engine, but the interior, the paint is all exactly as it is from 1984. A few little chips, little ding, but honestly it's in better condition than most 3 or 4 year old cars that I've seen around here. It's pretty incredible. Stepping inside it is like a time capsule. It's a pretty amazing thing. And it's kind of amazing that I found it. I mean, it just literally popped up on Facebook Marketplace. And I don't think the guy knew what he had, and he was like flash selling everything he had. He had like a classic Mini and some other bits, and he had this. And I don't think I realized quite what it was. And but I did. And I just went just like that and snapped it up. The only thing it needed was new tires, service, and that's it. And she works like she did in the 80s. She's pretty great. Only negative I must say, it's got an aftermarket clutch inside, and it's pretty stiff. And I haven't driven a manual for 10, 12 years. Not because I don't like manuals, it's just that basically every car I've owned has been a DSG or a DCT or ZF8, which is what all the new cars are. So yeah, it's a manual, and kind of terrified to drive it because, as I say, it's been over a decade since I've driven one. It's rear-wheel drive, it's got brand new tyres, it's got a turbocharged RB, and it's from 1984, so you know, ABS, traction control, and any electronics, they don't exist. Though to be fair, they don't exist on the E30 or the RX-8 either, so I guess I'm kind of used to it. But I guess I'll show you around, show you the car, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Perfect.
Okay, so this is the iron mask, or in Japan, forgive me if I get this wrong, I believe they call it tekemen. It's called the iron mask due to the shape of the front end here. Honestly, I think this is the coolest freaking thing I've ever seen. I just love it. It's just pure Japanese 80s bubble economy. When this actually used to be the fastest car in 1984, originally, when it had the FJ20 inside. So when you're on the famous highway in Tokyo, I forget the name, if you saw the iron mask coming up behind you, it was basically get the F out of the way, because you know you're going to lose, because nothing could keep up. And that's where the iron mask kind of legend comes from. It's got an intercooler, obviously, because it's turbocharged. Now I've had to put new tyres on it because the ones on it were about 4 years old. I don't mess around with tyres. I always go high quality. So we've got Toyos all around. So we got, I forget the name of these. These are brand new. They just came out this year. This is like a summer sports tyre. I think it's called TR1. It's got pretty good reviews over here. So I'm just giving that a go. On the back, I'm not effing around. I've got a whacking big 225, which is as big as I can get because they're Watanabe 15-inch wheels. So it's very difficult to get wide 15-inch, and these are as wide as you can get. These are Toyo R888Rs, which are redonkulous. They grip like you wouldn't believe. Now, there's some special parts on here. Got the side skirts, got the arches. They're all specially made for this, all imported. Okay, so the body kit is pretty unique. No idea where it came from. So I've got people messaging me, you know, where did you get the arches from? I don't know. It's a mystery. Whether Nissan Siam did it or the second owner imported from Japan, it's a mystery. But they're specially made for the R30. As you can see, it's got the perfect recess right there for it. So it's not just some random fender flare that someone's bodged on. This is proper. I've put on new decals just to make it look fresh. They're exactly the same as the original. I didn't want to change anything. I mean, I could have put, you know, RV25, Neo, the benchmark, you know, I could have put anything, but no, original. Got your factory badge. It's not perfect, but not bad for 1984. Not quite as old as me, but yeah, still looking pretty good. RS Watanabes, as everyone knows, these are very popular with the retro crowd, and I have them as well. So great wheel, great tires. You come round to the back, and well, this is where Skyline began. I mean, everyone knows the R34, the R33, the R32, but what they don't seem to realize is that this was the first R series. It's the R30. Before that, it was, I believe it was like a C210. So literally, this is what every R series car that you're obsessed with began. And as you can see, you've got the afterburner tail lights. Now, there's a special name for these. I don't know what it is. They're slightly more smoked than other models. They look pretty cool when they light up. I'll do that in a bit. Giant Japanese exhaust as usual, but it's not loud. This, again, I believe is aftermarket. God knows how you better find another one. Basically, if I was ever to crash this car, I'd be screwed. I couldn't replace anything. I mean, you could just about find tail lights, but you know, front end, bodywork, no. Everything is irreplaceable except for the wheels. So it's kind of a heritage car for me too. I've got to be very, very careful. I guess you probably want to look inside because it's really 80s in there. Pure 80s bubble economy, ridiculous soft velour interior. Some people may not like it. I find it kind of cool. So yeah, come on, have a look. So we got these red, I think they're either velour or wool. They're they're pretty funny. Really comfortable though. And they really hug you. Really supportive, very surprised. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, I don't know. But it's in such good condition and it just feels lovely. And no one smoked in here, which is pretty amazing. I guess because technically it's not JDM, hasn't been smoked in. So yeah, it's pretty good. Got the 3-spoke wheel which comes on the GTS's. For some reason I got 2 of them because I didn't think I had the right one, so I bought another one because I'm stupid. But I mean, everything here works, all the lights work, aircon works. But I'll let the guys have a look at this because it's just pure 80s inside here. Start straight up every time. Boost gauge, still got an aftermarket boost gauge, but the original factory one works. Sounds ridiculous for a 1984 car. Just silly. I feel even more stupid for putting a Neo inside because, I mean, really the engine it's got now, let's turn the aircon off. Yeah, the aircon works. The engine it's got now is pretty high power, really. I mean, well over 200. And this car weighs absolutely nothing. So it's going to be pushing close to 400. So it's going to be pretty terrifying. But yeah, it's just an anomaly. I mean, how I found this and how I found out the history about it is just pure luck. I've had people message me on Facebook trying to buy it off me. There was a gentleman on the Facebook group, Japanese Facebook group for the R30. He offered me a substantial amount of money for this, and I was like, oh my God, you know, basically the money he offered me was R34 GTR money, and I couldn't understand why. And I was very, very tempted to do it because I want an R34 GTR. But then I found out why. Turns out that the 4-door GTS Iron Mask is like the rarest of all the versions. And for some reason in Japan, from what I've learnt anyway, they are lusted after. They're high in demand. I don't know why. Personally, I think maybe the 2-door kind of looks cooler. But I don't know, the more I look at it, the more I kind of think, yeah, actually maybe the 2-door doesn't have the same line as the 4-door. When you look at it like this, you can say, oh, you know, that's the Skyline. But when it's the coupe or the 2-door, it kind of loses that I believe you call it a C-pillar, and it looks less like a Skyline. So I guess maybe that's why. But yeah, this is her. She basically is a time capsule. She looks like she just teleported from 1984. And she's ended up in Thailand of all places. This is so random. And yeah, she's mine. I wasn't supposed to buy this. I was supposed to buy an SUV for the family, like a Fort Runner or a Hilux or whatever. But I ended up buying this instead. So, you know, Fortuner or Fort Runner, Skyline. So yeah. Okay, so I guess the end of the video. I was supposed to do this as well because it's running so sweet. I've driven 200 something kilometers at very silly speeds, having a lot of fun, and literally just as I drove in, that happened. You can't make it up. It's just unbelievable. I mean, it's gearbox oil. I had the gearbox rebuilt. We were going to do a feature on this, me driving it. It was going to be rolling shots, the whole lot, but can't do it now because that. So yeah, so it's just a Skyline. So thanks for watching. Thank you again for subscribing, and if you haven't, please do, because 98% of you aren't subscribed. 98%. Come on, guys, please. It's ridiculous. Most people are like 60 or 70. So anyway, thank you for letting me hit 10K. And next time, when I have her done, we'll do a nice video of this because she is a beast of a car. And yeah, all right. Thank you very much. See you later.